Yeah, good evening, everyone. First of all, I welcome you all for this AWS Solutions Architect Training Program. Just let me recap what we have spoken in our last class. We are in the networking domain, and then in our last class, especially, we have focused on one of the topic which is very interesting one, that is on VPN. So we discussed about the VPN. See, we already did this Route 53, we already did this VPC, we understood about Direct Connect, and also we have gone through this VPN. So we understood about types of VPN, and then we also understood about what is how much security. Okay, generally in today's world, security is given as very important. So the first question what client will ask you because when you become a solutions architect, so please understand that is security. That is security. So without security, client cannot do any kind of task or cannot issue any kind of task. So to make it more and more secure, we understood about. So we understood about some of the networking commands also. I told you, like we spoke about the ping command. Earlier, we also spoke about DNS, that is NS lookup. Please remember, these are all very handy commands which are there in almost all the operating systems. And also in our last class, we also understood about the what is that? That is trace route. Trace route will tell you what are all the routes or routers in between. Routers are like your junction to the destination, junction path to the destination, which will also take your traffic towards to the destination safely. Okay, that is one thing which is there. Even though we say safely, but still the visibility into the router is always there. So naturally, there may be a doubt that some of the secure services, client doesn't want to disclose any of the topics to any of the areas. So it's maybe the client or it is an organizational traffic also which is not supposed to be traced what is happening across the ISPs or even from any malicious I mean, softwares or malicious people, anything. See, thing is that in this world, we need to protect our resources, that is assets, infrastructure. Okay, so for all these things, we learned about this VPN. It is a closed end from source to destination once the path is established. We saw about all those things. We deployed a VPN server and we understood about one more important thing, which is called as a marketplace. From the marketplace, how to get the AMIs and how to look out what are the things which we really require. So we saw all those things. That's the marketplace, and from the marketplace, we took one of the open VPN, that is 2 licenses free for lifetime. So that we had chosen an Ubuntu server on T2 Micro and we deployed the VPN server. Of course, there are some preliminary configurations. We did all those things, and then we also had a web interface. With that web interface, we had, gone through basically what we call as we are logged in, and then we have basically we configured. First step is that admin login we have done, and then we also did what we call as the client login, and then we downloaded the client software, and we saw the profile, and with that profile we could log in to the VPN server. And we saw we verified also. So now there is a direct connection. I mean, it's like a pipe from your location to the destination. It's like even like a direct connect also. Direct connect is a AWS managed line. Here it is a VPN from your source to the destination. There is a complete encrypted channel. So once the data is going through the encrypted channel, it has to come out from the gateway service, that is the VPN server. Yeah, we saw about all those things, about how this VPN traffic is flowing from the source to the destination. And then we verified also, we could also connect to the VPC, to the default VPC, the server. We have created a Linux server, and then we tried to connect through the private IP, and we could successfully do all these things. Not only that, we could see the traffic from trace route also. We saw my IP also. It is coming as your AWS server IP. VPN server IP. Okay, we saw all those things, and I hope if there are any still questions pending, you can still ask me. which will be, I would be responding to your questions. If there are no questions, just let me know there are no questions. Yes, please.
Nothing from my side.
Shashank, nothing? Yeah, there's
No
also please
questions, sir.
respond. Okay, Vamshi, no. Jiva, no.
No questions.
Raven, so no questions. I hope well understood. Yeah, there's also please respond.
No
Naveen,
questions on my side.
nothing. Satvika, no. Sharmila,
No question.
Chandan, no. Okay, Sharmila, no. Okay, that's fine. If there are any still questions pending from your side, you can still ask me at any point of time. Not today. I'm not in the class, or even after the class, or even during, even in our WhatsApp discussion also. Okay. So yes, let me just share my system so that today we will go ahead with some of the important topics. But before that, we will try to do one of the KC. So my suggestion is that please open your Canvas account. We will do one of the KC before we start for today's class. Okay. Yeah, please open everyone. And also my suggestion is that all of you has gone through these important points also, very, very important for your, meanwhile, please open your KC, okay, knowledge check, that is the Canvas account. We will do one of the KC. So meanwhile, I'll just explore these important points, this is there in module 19. So I'll just explore this VPC part, okay, networking, okay. So I hope all of you are studying the official curriculum also. That is very, very important. Especially, yeah. So this is your networking services which is there. Please go through all this. VPC we have covered enough. So I'll just give you some important terminology, especially some important things which you need to look into the exam. Okay, so that part also I'll be covering. I'll also be covering this elastic network interface today. A very small topic, but still we need to cover that, of course, for today. And of course, we will also go through this elastic IP also for today. Elastic IP. We will also understand about VPC peering, very important one, VPC peering, and of course VPC endpoints also. I'll be discussing all these things. Very simple. We already discussed about VPN. We already discussed about direct connect in our previous classes. Please go through all these things. Okay, not very important. We already discussed about Route 53. Please see this particular one. And also this routing policies, especially very important. You may get one question. We spoke about simple routing, weighted routing policy, round robin also you can say, latency based, geolocation routing, and failure routing. We did this exercise also, geolocation, I mean failure routing policy. Please go through all those things. So this is about your networking terminology. I hope everyone is ready.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So I think we have already completed module 3. Yes. Let us complete this module 4. Let us complete this module 4. We already completed EC2, load balancer, and many things we have done. Okay. And also EFS also we have done. There is a lab also here, guided lab. We can do that later. Okay. But please open this module 4 KC. Module 4 KC, knowledge check. So let us do this one. So here there is a change between before week and now. Earlier it was 80% you need to score, but now they have reduced to 70%. I think there is a lot of people who asked, when our exam is only 72%, why should we have 80% or something like that? They have reduced the score. I mean, for all the things to 70%. That is one change which has happened. Just say, everyone ready?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, is there anyone else who wants me to wait? Okay, let us start. Let us start with the question number 1. Which attributes are the reasons to choose EC2? Select 2. Yeah. Ability to run any type of workload. Is it? Yes or no?
No.
So any type of, so we can't choose our EC2 depending on the workload. Yeah, I want everyone to answer. We can choose. So if your workload is high, you choose even not T2 micro. T2 micro is for only low workloads. You have several types of which you see for computing and for memory optimized. We learned 5 types, right? So A is the correct answer. Okay, next he asked for 2. Ability to serverless applications. Is it serverless or a server?
No, it has server.
It has a server, so discarded. AWS management operating system patches. No, we need to do that. In EC2, it is we need to do the OS patches. AWS doesn't do. Please understand, AWS doesn't do. AWS management of operating system security. Who is the security? Who has to take care of security?
By us.
By us. AWS doesn't do that. Doesn't do that.
We have
Complete
created security group and all that.
When we have created our EC2, we have to check for our security. Everything, security, patches, everything, especially in EC2. If it is AWS managed, then it is responsibility. Complete control of computing resources.
Yes.
Yes, because you can have the complete control on this computing resources. Whatever you create, you can have. Let me say submit. A and E. Yeah, it is correct. It is correct. The second one, again 3. What are the benefits of AMI? Of using AMI? Yes, tell me. Using an AMI as a server backup for EC2, we can use that. AMI is also called as a server backup, full backup. We can use that. Yeah. Migrating data from on-premises to EC2, can you do that?
Yes, we can do that.
Can you create an AMI on on-site infrastructure?
No.
No. So I told you very clearly, you cannot download the AMI, you cannot create for on-site resources, it's only for the cloud resources. So hence this
means on premises means our premises like
local.
Local, huh? So
Local, cloud and on-premises. On-premises is customer, AWS is cloud. Launching instances with the same configuration, can you use AMI?
Yes.
Yes, absolutely. You can create. If you have once AMI, you can have any type of instances. Selling of sharing software packed as an AMI.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, let me check.
Selling or sharing.
Selling or sharing software solutions packed as an AMI. You can do that. Marketplace is nothing but selling and sharing.
Correct.
Automating security group settings for instances.
No, automatic doesn't have.
The other day when we have taken this marketplace, did we not get the security group modified?
We got the default one from the AMI itself. Some of the default.
Yeah, that's what. From the AMI itself, we got the security group. Correct. I'm selecting this one. I may see if I don't get the answer correct, then you choose this one. But A, C is correct. That is for sure. Either D or E, let us see. So I'm choosing that A, C, and E. Let me see if it is correct. Then only we will mark. Yeah, it is incorrect. I think A, C, D. I think. Let's try once. Some of you can let me know.
ACD is correct.
Okay, ACD is the correct answer. So just to ensure that ACD is the correct answer. ACD, selling, marketplace. I know that, but I was still having a small doubt. Yeah.
For me, it's jumbled. The answers are jumbled here.
No, it is ACD only. Many times it will be same.
No, sir, it's jumbled actually, not in the sequence.
Maybe I don't know. It's okay. Yeah. Right? Okay. So a system administrator must change the instance types of multiple running EC2 instances. The instances were launched with a mix of EC2, EBS, okay, backed Amazon machine images and instance stored AMIs. Which method is a valid way to change the instance type? So how do you change the instance type? You can just stop the instance and change the instance type. That's all, and start the instance. Nothing else. So it is C. Stop the Amazon EBS instance, change the instance type, and start the instance.
Okay, we need to stop the existing one.
Yes, you need to stop the instance.
And then create new one.
And you can change. If you want to change from T2 micro to T4 large or something like that, you stop the instance, change the instance type, and then restart. You will see on a new instance. Let me see. Yeah, it is correct. A workload requires high read-write access to local large data sets. Which instance type would best for the workload? So he is asking read-write access to large local data sets. Large. What type of instances you are preferring? General purpose may not be compute optimized. He asked read-write access. It's not compute optimized.
It's a memory optimized.
Just a second.
And storage optimized.
Local data. Memory.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Are you able to hear and see me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So, yeah, where are we? Which instance are the best? Yeah, this type of instances should be memory optimized. Yes. Memory
And
should be there. And he asked about requires high read rate access. That is one. Perform best for the workload. I think storage also. It's not, he didn't ask for CPU or compute optimized, accelerated. See, I want everyone to get involved. There are many members who are just keeping tick marks. For those people, this exam preparation won't work. I'm telling you very clearly. Everyone should open up. If you're keeping quiet, it won't work. Yeah, it is working. Otherwise, I'll only get marks. You will not get marks. There are many people I can point out. Only 2 or 3 members only are speaking. I don't know why others are not involved. This is on behalf of you. You should do these questions. See, I tell you, Naveen, Sharmila, Sai, Jeeva, everyone, Chandan, everyone, you should start speaking at least, whether right or wrong, you should speak. Especially I tell you, everyone should speak. Only Shashank, I can see Shashank or Chandan, hardly they speak. They speak. Others, they are not speaking. They are not involving also. Satvika, you should be. If you just keep tick marks like that, it won't work, everyone. You may get 100 out of 100, but it really is not appreciated. Yeah. Start answering. If you don't understand anything, ask me. The very idea is ask. Okay. So, fifth one, an application requires the media access control of the host Amazon EC2 instance. Okay, MAC layer, as I mentioned very clearly, there's a layer in the data link layer. The architecture uses an AWS auto scaling group to dynamically launch and terminate instances. Which way is the best for the application to obtain MAC address? Yeah. Yes, please. See, here is asking an application requires a MAC because they want to secure the application with the help of some prescribed addresses. EC2 instance. The architecture uses EC2 auto scaling to dynamically launch and terminate instances, which is the best way for the application to obtain MAC addresses. How do you get the MAC addresses?
MAC address, IP.
Hardware address. I spoke on the day one when I was speaking about networking. Write the MAC address application configuration file for each instance. Include MAC address in the A. So this cannot be possible. If you ask me.
Third answer, sir.
Include MAC address in the AMI. You can't do that. Include MAC address in a custom AMI. Can you include MAC address in AMI?
I don't think so because it's a machine to machine. It's very
that is true. A MAC address can be only seen through the hardware of the system.
Hardware of the system.
use the user data of each instance to access MAC address through the instance metadata.
That
I
would be
think,
more preferable.
yeah, from the metadata means a unique data. You can get the, first let me check whether this is the right answer or not. I know very clear this is not A and B. C also cannot be. Let me check. Yeah, it is D. It is D. Correct. Now, a transactional workload on EC2 instance performs high amount of frequent read-write operations. Which EBS, okay, which EBS volume would be the best for workload? Yeah. So, which is having the highest one?
SSD.
SSD. I agree, SSD. Is it general purpose or provisioned?
It should be provisioned.
Definitely not HDD. Definitely not HDD. So, answer is A and C.
I think provisioned.
Provisioned generally will have higher IOPS than general purpose IOPS.
Correct.
Right? Provisioned IOPS. Let me check. Yeah, it is provisioned. Are optimized for IO workloads. Right. 7. It is possible to create an NFS share on Amazon EBS backed Linux instance by installing and configuring an NFS server on an instance. Okay. In this way, multiple Linux systems can share the same file system. On the other day, I mentioned that. Which advantage that Amazon EFS provide compared to the solution? Yeah. Is it automatic scaling?
Storage.
Yeah, it is automatic scaling, right? I mentioned that. Why? It starts from 0 bytes. It goes on up to 8 EB. I can take this one. Is it high availability? Yes, it is high availability. I take that. File locking? No, it is file sharing. I mentioned that NFS is file sharing. It's not file locking. No need for backups. Do Amazon recommends backup is not recommended?
Backup. Amazon recommended, but it is recommended, but I think
backup is always there. Data means that backup should be there. Strong consistency? No, I don't think so.
No, that is not.
So let me check B and C. Yeah, it is correct. B and C is correct. Right? Okay. So now which feature does, okay, this is not covered. I'll cover later. Just I'll mention the answer for all of you. Amazon FSX is a Windows based file server actually. Like Linux, we were sharing across multiple instances, right? This is Windows. This is Windows. That's all is the difference. The difference between FSX and EFS is in EFS elastic file system we use for Windows Linux based. In FSX is Windows based. Nothing else. Provide. So what does it provide? It provides Microsoft AD servers. This is also one of the thing which is there. This is also one of the thing. Or fully managed. This one is more accurate. Fully managed Windows file servers. I mean fully Amazon only manages everything. Backup solution, no, not this. Fully managed Windows file servers. You can take that. Let me check. Yeah, it is. Yeah. 9th one, which descriptions EC2 pricing options are correct? This is, I think, easier one. On-demand instances enables you to pay for compute capacity by use time with no long-term commitments. Yes or no? What is meant for on-demand?
Yes. Pay as you.
We have no long-term commitments, right?
No. Yes.
Absolutely. Reserved instances are physical servers that are reserved exclusively for your use.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay,
Yes.
let me check that. Or physical, is it physical servers or virtual servers?
It's a virtual.
So not physical servers. We can't take that. Savings plan are budgeting tools that helps you to manage EC2 costs.
Yes.
No. But it's not a savings plan. It's not a
No.
budgeting tool. It is savings plan. Okay.
Plan.
Right, plan. So dedicated hosts are servers that are dedicated to one purpose, such as firewall. Not for firewall, but for specific uses. That for firewall uses. Let me go through. So spot instances offers spare compute capacity at discounted prices and can be interrupted.
Yes.
Yes. So let me take this one. Interrupted. Yes, it can be interrupted. And these are interrupted also. I'm giving A and E. Let me check. Yeah, it is correct. A and E are correct. Now 10th one. A company has 3 high performance computing instances that must communicate with each other. The company would like to achieve maximum network performance between instances. The most important requirement in these systems do not share the same rack. Which placement strategy should they use? Okay, this I think I didn't
Partition.
cover. It's not cluster. It's not partition also. It's not partition. It is spread.
I think it should be
It is
So
spread. You define
partition.
all the spread. It will take network performance.
performance.
For network performance, we use spread. Let me check. Yeah, it is correct.
But I think that part is I think we didn't cover right. As far as I
Partition.
remember. No,
Partition.
that last question.
Last question is not, but still, see, there are many bits and bits you have to go through this important points. I tell you.
Important points. Yes, yes.
That is the reason we are doing these assignments.
Yes.
So in a rack, how many servers will be there?
It is up to you, the size which you take.
No,
You
in
take
rack,
a-
in AWS. AWS rack.
In AWS rack only.
How many? Like, how many? Okay. So in rack, how many servers will be there in general?
No, based on, see, if you take M4 large, you have different number of servers, right? More CPUs. See, your question has something else also, I'll tell you. If you go with a container, because that is also coming across containers. So if you take a large system and divide into multiple partitions, these are also called as racks, multiple servers. Got it? Rather than that, individual instance also you can do that.
Because the rack size is not as such predefined or limited, right? Whatever the size you want, you can take any of the
You are
options.
saying about the physical rack?
Yes, sir. Physical.
I don't care.
Like in Amazon, I think it's.
That is there in the data centers. That data center people, Amazon will take care. Whether it is 62U or maybe that, I don't care what's the size of the rack. I'm only worried about the infrastructure for me. Is this clear?
Like, so I want like if. So if I want to plan a, like if I'm working on a big project where
Take
they
a
need
large
a
system. If it is a compute, you go for compute. If it is a memory optimized or CPU optimized or storage optimized, there are various types, right? GPU optimized. Select accordingly. Do you want 4 CPU or 2 CPU or 16 CPU or 32 CPU? How much memory? You can choose accordingly. We have gone through on the very day one. Is this clear, Chandan?
yes, sir.
Right. So, yes, please. See, I want to tell you something important. We learned about VPC. So, please understand this one, VPC, Virtual Private Cloud. And again, I tell you, when you create a VPC, it is again limited within only a region. We all know what is region and what is availability zone. When you create a VPC, it is limited to only the region. So the VPC cannot be extended. In a VPC, you have sub A, sub B, sub C, but everything should be within the region. Region means North Virginia is one of the region, Sydney is another region, Mumbai is another region, like that. Please understand. Okay, you have one VPC. The other day I have shown you the diagram. Okay, so I have VPC 1, VPC 1, which is assigned to one of the client A, okay, client A, okay, in one of the region called as region and Virginia. Please understand this one, very, very important. I created another VPC, VPC 2, maybe client A or client B, whatever it is. So if it is region North Virginia, okay, same region I tell you, then you can have a communication between. If you want, it's not by default. Again, I tell you, it's not by default. You can have communication between VPC1 and VPC2. How you can do that? That is called as VPC peering. VPC peering means communication between VPC, within the same region. I hope everyone understood. Yes or no? You can do only with help of VPC peering. So these are advanced concepts for you. No need to by heart these things. No need to do the lab. You can create VPC1, you can create VPC2 in the same region. Still you can have a communication. How do you do that? You have to select the VPC peering and then have VPC1 and VPC2 so that servers can communicate. Is this clear? Yes or no, everyone?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Still I am observing some 3 or 4 members are not yet responded. Every time I am asking, please respond, please respond. Vinay has not responded, Satvika has not responded. I don't know why they do not want to respond. Are they there before the microphone? Are they listening or they are not listening? If they are not responding next time onwards, I'll think that they are keeping their microphone mute and then they are logging off or they are signing off. If that is the case, because this is a first day itself, I mentioned very clearly, this is a very, very interactive session. Everyone should respond. It is when we are sitting in the classroom, don't we answer? Same thing here also. This is our classroom. Yes, Satvika, listening?
Yes, sir.
So why are you not responding? Satvika waiting for an answer.
Yes, sir.
Next time will you answer?
Yes, sir.
You should be interactive. See, yesterday your father has called me and asked me also. But I said only one thing. She doesn't ask any one question.
Yes.
So why don't you ask questions? You don't have any questions at all? Or did you understand? Do you understood everything? Please do.
Sir.
Huh? No, I'm only giving an opinion. That's all. No, don't take it anything serious. Okay. Just see that. See, things are like, even when we do the cases also, you're not responding. Not even one answer you responded. Not even one answer. So I want everyone to respond actually. So in that way only you can win. Otherwise, one fine day you'll get means no, you'll not get like that. These are very much industries, highly prestigious programs. I tell you, interaction is very, very essential. Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
If you want to add anything, you can definitely add, but start responding. Otherwise, you'll feel shied always not to answer anything. Let them answer, okay, like that. If you have question also, you can ask me, no problem. Where we are? So VPC peering, understood? Satvika, understood?
Yes, sir.
Okay. So when I ask, so please respond. Don't have latency. Okay. So this is VPC peering, communication between, okay, VPC between VPC1 and VPC2. When I say VPC means that between VPC1 and 2, VPC1 and VPC2, or many VPCs, it can be multiple VPCs within the same region. The highlight is within the same region. Now, if VPC1 is in a different region and VPC2 is in a different region, how will you have? So this is a compulsory question you are getting in the exam. So VPC1, maybe if I say region North Virginia, okay, VPC2, and you have a region, maybe I say Mumbai, both of them are different regions. How will you communicate? You don't have VPC peering at this point. VPC peering cannot be done. You have to see that VPC endpoint. So once you create a VPC endpoint can be shared across. We have to use this VPC endpoint. Use endpoint to have, I mean, like we use endpoints multiple times, right? Like S3 we have used endpoint, load balancer we have used endpoint. Similarly, here also VPC endpoint in order to have, okay, to have communication. Is this clear? VPC endpoint and VPC peering? Yes or no, everyone? The difference between VPC peering and VPC endpoint.
Yes.
Okay, so I'll just tell, because these are very, if you start reading, it will take ages for you, I tell you. Now you see this VPC peering allows routing traffic between peer VPCs, okay, using private IP addresses and no internet gateway or VGW, I mean virtual gateway is required. Okay, cannot span across regions. Peering cannot span across regions. Is this clear? IP space or CADR blocks cannot overlap. If you are using same IP, I mean, it will overlap. It should not be overlap. I mean, here if you say 10.1.0/16, there it should be 10. It should not be 1.0. It should be something 5.0 or 6.0. Should not be overlap. So please go through all these things. Security group can be referred as ingress and egress rules. It is ingress means incoming rules and egress means outgoing rules. In a security group, use CADR blocks instead. So this one, VPC endpoint. VPC endpoint is, as I mentioned, you can say enable creation of private connection between VPC and another AWS service using private IP. So here we only have an endpoint. It can be used to communicate to a different VPC also. Does not require public IP addresses, access over internet, NAT interface or VPN connect across direct connect. Traffic between VPC and AWS service does not leave the AWS network. Do not support cross-region requests. It doesn't support. It is only like we are basically getting an endpoint, and that endpoint will be shared across. It cannot be extended out of the VPC. So this is what is you need to understand between VPC peering and of course VPC endpoint. Right. So now let me take a sandbox. Let me take a sandbox.
Sir,
Okay.
one thing I just like
Yeah,
you said that
I'll take your question 1 second.
Yeah,
One
no
second
problem.
before
Yes.
I start this one. Otherwise, it will take 3-4 minutes. Okay, everyone can take your sandbox or free tier, whatever it is. It's up to you. Just I'll take up your question, and I'll start the lab. Now you
Okay.
can ask me the question.
So sir, just wondering, like you said that a BPC in a same region or either. So both the BPC should be in like a Amazon provided BPC, or it should be like means if we have a BPC from other
So what is the full
organization,
form of VPC?
virtual private cloud.
Cloud. So can you have other than cloud?
No, that should be. Okay, sorry. Yeah, got it. Cloud only. These
Then
type of.
naturally, when we say cloud means you
Correct.
cannot
Only
deploy
in,
elsewhere, right?
yes. Correct.
You may ask me, sir, I have a VPC on Azure and the other VPC on Amazon. How do I do that? That is only through endpoints.
Yeah, that is only through endpoint. Means that could be
Endpoints.
also possible.
Sorry, peering cannot be done.
Peering cannot be done. That I understand. But the means
Endpoints can
the
be
same
done.
endpoint through endpoints can be done.
Yes, not only that, a hybrid kind of things also. See, endpoint is only a reference URL where you have to mount across your infrastructure. That's all. And use. So naturally, beyond your regions means it is only the internet traffic.
Correct.
Right. Okay. Yeah, any other questions from anyone? Use endpoints to have communication between any regions or outside regions. This is clear? Endpoint. So now let us understand about ENI, Elastic Network Interface. Very important. Elastic Network Interface and also Elastic IP. Elastic IP. These questions do come. Let us understand. So for this one, I have opened a sandbox environment. Everyone you can do. If you are going through a free tier, that is also okay. Otherwise, you can go through the sandbox. I can show you in both ways. Both of them are same. And if it is taking more time, then I'll open on maybe AWS Amazon.com. everyone. You can also do if you want, otherwise later on also you can do. So I'm opening my free tier account. Yeah. See what I do, I just create a server for all of you. Any Linux server, basic Linux server, EC2 instance. We know how to do a Linux server. So I just launch a quick instance. I just handle storage, attacks, configure security group. Just a Linux server. I'm just showing you. All right. So I have launched an instance. See, my server is ready. My server is ready. I'll tell you one important thing here. This is my public IP, right? All of you has noted down. Just walk through this particular one. I'm just writing here. I'm speaking about elastic IP. You all know what is the difference between public IP and private IP. Public IP is of this particular server is currently this particular one. 44 dot, you see this one. Okay. So now this is T2 micro. You see this one, T2 micro system. Rest all, these are your availability zones and all the other things which are the public IP. I'll try to, you see this one, this is my private IP. I'm just copying. Please understand everything private IP is this particular one. Please observe. Now what I do, I will shut down the system. Stop, not terminate, stop. There is a difference between stop and terminate. It's like stop means that a sleeping person. Terminate means a dead person. Okay. Once you stop, you can always start the instance. I'm just trying to stop the instance. Stop. Just say stop. Successfully stopped. So what will happen after it is stopped? You see this one. I'm just trying to refresh. Just wait for a minute's time. It will stop. What happened? What happened? Now it is stopped. What happened to my public IP?
It's gone.
What happened to my private IP?
It is still there.
Still as it is. Let me note down. So this is started. Running, you can see this one, running. This is the one. What did I do? Stopped. What is my public IP now? What is my public IP? Not available. But my private IP? Same. See, my suggestion is that for everyone, whoever is doing this one, learning is always, you need to write down. If you're not writing, if you're just watching, things will go in a different way. You may forget all the things. You may forget very fast. Now we have noted down. Okay. See, you may ask me, sir, if I want to change the instance type, how do I change it? Now it is stopped. I can say here, you see this one. In instance settings, if I want to change the instance type, no, I am not satisfied with this instance, sir. I want to change my instance type. I can change from T2 micro to various. I'm not changing because this is not free. This is not free tier. Okay, this is free tier account. You see this one? This is how we change and apply, and then you can start. Is this clear?
Yes.
Okay. Now I'm not changing anything. I'm just starting the instance. I just start the instance. Once again, you see this one successfully started. See this one, it has come to pending. Now what happens, you see? What is my public IP? I just copy this one.
Yes.
Restarted again. Okay. Public IP. Is it the same or not?
No. Not sure.
Private IP is same as above. Did everyone noted down all these things? I mean, observed all these things, whatever I'm saying. So now there is a problem. Especially if you are launching a website, and if you configure for DNS associate records, if every time if IP changes, how can you change all those things? Is it clear? The web administrators will kick us if every time if this public IP is getting changed. But this is managed by Amazon. We can't do that. Is this clear, everyone? Question?
Yes, sir. Yes.
So for this is the reason we need elastic IP. Elastic IP. What is elastic IP? It is a static public IP. It is a static public IP. Okay, static public IP defined by Amazon. Don't go to the open market and ask what is elastic. Elastic is Amazon's terminology. That's why I say. So now let us learn about how to assign a static elastic IP. That is elastic IP. Scroll down. You have this one in networking and security, and elastic IP. Leave this one as it is, the server. Elastic IP is there. So be careful. Listen very carefully. If you are half listening and if you are doing, you will see the bills. You will see the bills. I tell you, there are a number of people who got 3,000, 4,000 bills also, because you are doing something beyond your free tire, but you can still do. I'll tell you how to do. This is elastic IP menu. Do I have an elastic IPs now?
No.
No. So what I'll do is that orange button is there. You can also follow me, no problem. I'll tell you when bill is coming. Allocate elastic IP address. Okay. In your North Virginia region, this is North Virginia, leave it as it is. Don't use accelerators. Accelerators are chargeable because that is this high speed IPs which are kept in a different group actually, where you will be having a higher performance. Don't use this one. If customer wants, you can say that those are very low latency traffic. Okay, scroll down and say allocate. Now, there is an IP which has been allocated to you. What is the IP? This one I'm just copying for me. Is it allocated to the server? Still not yet.
No.
We have. See, if you go to the EC2 dashboard, instance running, it's the same one. There is no one, 54 dot only. I have just requested Amazon to get a elastic IP. Right? So now I have an elastic IP. If you leave it like this, you will be billed. You should not leave it empty. Now there is one elastic IP in your bucket. So immediately what you can do, associate elastic IP to your server. Associate. To which server? You already have one instance running. This is the one. Select that. That's all. Associate. It's done now. As long as this IP, public IP, elastic IP is associated to an instance, you will not get a bill. I hope everyone understood what I'm saying. When you create an elastic IP and associate to an instance, you will not be charged. If you are not associating, then there will be a bill.
Okay.
Yeah, Raven, any questions?
Is there any means time frame that after that, but if we keep it blank or not using that IP, elastic IP?
If you are crossing more than 1 hour, then naturally hourly will be there, right?
Oh. And sir, there is also one option, the private IP address that is allow this elastic IP address to be re-associated.
It has to be associated. Of course, when you are in the customer's point, customer will take care. That is peanuts. But for us, even 100 rupees also is big money sometimes.
Sir, why I need to bother about all these IPs to create and associate? We have options like CNAMEs and all, right? Canonical names.
I didn't get you.
the virtual private IP something is there, right? We can associate
See,
that.
I have given you the complete case. See, when I switch off and switch on, is this not the IP getting changed?
Oh, yeah, IP changed, but if we have something mapped to that before, automatically once the system starts, then it will start work, right?
That's what I'm going to demonstrate now. See, now I have associated now. You see this one? Elastic IP is associated successfully. Right? Now go to your EC2 dashboard. Go to your EC2 dashboard. You see, now just refresh. What is the IP which you are getting now? See this one. Just select this one. What is the IP? Is it not your elastic IP now here? 34 dot?
Yeah.
So now you can see instance IP. This one. Okay. For your understanding, what I do, I select this one, I shut down this one now. I stop this instance. What will happen? Let us see. We are learning, so that's why I'm going in a slow process. So I have stopped. After about maybe 15-30 seconds, then it will be stopped. See this one, this is getting stopped. Yeah, it is stopped. But what about your public IP? Is it there or not still?
Still it is there, yes.
Still it is there. So even if your instance status is stopped, this is running. Instance IP. Same. Again I'll restart. What will happen? You see. Again I'll restart. What will happen? You see. Start. Successfully started. Did you see any change?
No.
So now is it not elastic means static public IP? So this IP will not change. Yeah. Yes, please. Question? Someone has asked.
Sir, can we attach the same IP to other instance also?
No. Once one IP to one server.
So, but actually, sir, that's what I asked the question. While we creating this elastic IP, there is a checkbox which allow to the reassociate.
The last option we have option
yes.
option to select for reassociate.
Reassociate.
Reassociate the same IP to the same server.
Oh.
While we are associating this IP to the instance, that options all the way below, we have another option, reassociate the elastic IP.
Okay. That also is possible. What you said is correct. You can associate the same public IP to multiple instances also.
Yeah.
But at a time, we can associate only to one.
No. You can use. There are many public IPs, many websites which are running only on one public IP.
If we have two web servers and we associate the same elastic IP to the two web servers.
Today how people create websites, they don't give static IP for every website. One static IP will be there, that will be associated to multiple instances. Multiple. Only forward lookup zone will be there, reverse will not be there.
Then how the load balancer will be identified that I need to move the traffic to that particular instance because
it is only based on instance ID. Why should you worry about the IP?
IP, okay.
That is only load balancer will work based on the instance IDs, metadata.
Okay.
Yeah, that's enough. That is enough. We don't worry about the IP. Whatever it is also, it will go through the private IP. Okay, so understood about this particular one clearly about this elastic IP. So once you have done, we need to basically release our elastic IP. Okay, so how do we release that? So select your elastic IP, actions, dissociate, then only you can release. So dissociate.
We need to stop an instance first, then deassociate it.
No, not required.
Not required.
Just disassociate, so the IP will be released. It will be brought back. So elastic IP disassociated successfully. So if you want to check your EC2 dashboard, you can check running instances. It will be having only a normal IP, public IP. Normal public IP, which was there. So, but again, do not forget to remove the elastic IP. It should not be there in your dashboard. Release. You need to release that. If you hold on, then there will be charges for the free time. As long as you are using, the IP is used, no problem, no charges will be there. Is this clear about elastic IP? Concept of elastic IP, how to use this one?
Is public IP works within only a region or?
No, I didn't get you. Public IP is for every region you have.
Sir,
public
for
IP
example,
is based on internet. Private IP is only within your region.
Sir, if I have two EC2 instance in two different regions, two different VPCs,
you can communicate.
So I have a
public.
Route 53 and at front end. So by Route 53 with the same IP, I can route to different regions.
Yes.
Right?
That's what we do. One server you can host in Australia, another server maybe you can host in what we call as North Virginia. Still you can
using
have
the static IP address.
You can have failover.
Oh.
You asked for failover routing policy, right?
Failover as well as
public IP means think about it is on internet. Internet doesn't have any regions.
Yes, sir.
Got it?
Yes, sir.
Anything public means we don't have regions. Private only have regions and all these things. Okay. So this is about elastic IP.
We need to release this IP as well, sir, right? After deassociate.
Yeah. You have to release. If you don't release, if you forget also, you will get bills. They'll charge monthly 3,000, something like that. This one. When you go to elastic IP, there should be nothing. Yeah, I hope everyone understood. Can everyone respond? If there are any questions, please ask. Yeah, please respond. Understood? Yes or no?
Yes,
yes, sir.
Yes, got it.
Okay.
Yes.
Understood.
Okay. So most important, you may get one question in the exam also for elastic IP. Okay. So now I'll explain about another concept. These are all networking concepts only. Please do remember. So this is elastic fabric or elastic network interface. So I have, see this one, this what we call as instance running. Just click this networking. Just click this network. We spoke earlier details, we spoke storage, we spoke monitoring, we are speaking about networking. In networking, we saw already some of the things like your public IP, your private IP, your VPC ID, these are default one. Your public DNS, private DNS, subnet ID. Scroll down. You see this one, there is a concept called as a network interface. We also call as, this is ENI, network interface, elastic network interface. Even though this elastic network ENI, the name given, but it cannot be removed. This is the primary one. We cannot delete that. If you delete that, you cannot access the server. This is the first and foremost. Suppose, due to some reasons, I want one more interface. There are some people, reality, I tell you, they ask for second one. What for? To do some kind of management works. Management tasks. Like it can be as simple as a backup, right? Or it can be what we call as maybe reports, or maybe something like monitoring, maybe something like many tasks will be there. They do not want to disturb the existing network. So how do they do? They add one more network card. Through that network card, they collect. So can a server have 2 network cards? Yes or no?
Yes.
Yes.
You can have unlimited as you want.
Yes.
So let us try to add one more network card into this server. Okay, let us try to add one more network card into this server. How do I add? That is called as ENI, Elastic Network Interface. Is this clear? Okay. So how do I add? Here, sorry, cancel. So here in this networking, you have a concept called as Elastic IP. Where is that? Security group, placement group, network interfaces. Just click this. Just click this. So you have one network interface which is already connected to one of the server. You see this. So this is the instance in 1C. In 1C. This is your server. And also you can see that to which it is being associated also. This is the instance ID 4E4. That is your instance ID. Please go through this one in EC2 dashboard. That is the instance ID. This is your 4E4. Okay, this is your instance where it has been already configured. So now I'm going to create one more network interface. Okay, that is called as ENA adapter. So create a network interface. Create a network interface in the same one. In the same one, if you want description, you can give, but subnet should be same. So I'll say 1C because my server is there in 1C. Otherwise, I cannot connect. I cannot connect. Again, I say this is 1C. USC is to 1C. Okay. So scroll down. Fabric adapter means high speed adapter. See, I'll tell you one more important thing because many of you are not familiar. There are many type of network cards. Earlier network cards with 10 Mbps. Later network cards came with 100 Mbps. Later on it came with 1 Gbps. Later on with 10 Gbps. And even much beyond 10 Gbps also today we have using fiber optic. So these high speed network cards are called as fabric adapters. Very high speed if you want. Right? So these network adapters basically define if you want a fabric adapter, you can select that. If you want a fabric adapter, you can select that, enable. Otherwise, no. So for us in free tier, we don't get that fabric adapter, just don't use that. But if customer demands, yes, you can go through the fabric adapter, EFA, we call that fabric adapter. Scroll down, security groups. If you want, you can attach a security group, or because every network adapter can have a different security group. So I'll use the same one of the security group and say create a network interface. Create a network interface. Yeah, a network interface has been created. See this one, but it is available. It's not still associated to the system. So I select this particular network interface. You see this one once again. This is available. I need to associate, like your disk. I am attaching this network card. I associate to my, okay, not this one, not this one. Associate details, no, not this one. I attach, not associate. I need to attach this one to an instance. Just say attach. So what will happen? Now my EC2 dashboard, my instance will be having 2 adapters. See this one here. 2 adapters will be there. Or you can log in and view also, no problem. It will take some time because it has, yeah, you see this one, ENI1 and ENI2. There are 2. You see this one, there are 2 private IPs which has come across. There are 2. Public, if you want, you can ask, you will get it. You will get it. One is already there. Second one, if you want, you get it. So like this, it is attached. This is called as Elastic Network Interface, ENI, where you can attach and detach as needed. If you want, we have added this network card. If you want, you can delete the network card also. You can log in to the server also and then verify. Let me, where is this public IP? I'll show you. Or I can log in here itself, right? I can connect. Yeah. I'll say there is a command called as Ifconfig. Ifconfig. Please note down each and everything. This is the command to see your network interfaces. Now you see this one. There is one Ethernet interface, ETH0. There is another one which is called as ETH1. You see, this is the private IP of ETH0. This is the private IP of your ETH1. Is this clear? This LO is local interface. We don't have. This is 127.0.0.1. This is how we verify this one. Okay. Now I try to detach and show you once again. Let us see this particular one. I'll show you. I show you. Go to your network interfaces. Okay. I detach this one. Or detach. Detach and delete also you can if you want, you can do. So I have detached. It should come in available very soon. If it doesn't come, then you do a force detach. Detach. You can say force detachment is there. Right. I think it is already come to available. No problem. It's taking time. Okay. So now you can verify also. You can verify by saying once again Ifconfig and say enter. Now you don't have, you have only one interface because it has already been detached. ETH0. No more ETH1. No more ETH1. Is this clear, everyone? That's why we call it elastic network interface. I can delete this one also. Yeah, any questions? Networking is very, very important. All the topics. So I spoke about elastic network interface. Yes, Chandan?
Sir, so will it incur any charge?
Sorry?
Will it incur any charge if I have multiple?
No. Elastic network interface, no, nothing. But fabric, you will. Fabric adapter, don't select fabric adapter.
So when we will use a fabric adapter?
High speed, very high speed.
So video streaming like that? Or?
Customer will demand, if you want 10 Gbps or higher speed, less latency, use fabric. It is like a fiber optic adapter.
Yes, sir.
Is this clear?
Yes, sir.
Right. Yeah, any other questions? So this is about what we call as where we are. This is about your elastic network interface and elastic what we call as IP, elastic IP. Very, very important. It is there in the EC2 dashboard itself, everything. So we spoke about elastic IP, and we also spoke about the restrictions you need to associate to an instance. If you don't leave it alone, otherwise delete that. And then we also gone through the network interfaces. So that is what we call as network interface, elastic network interfaces. Right.
So, this network card is like I just think about it. Is it significant? Means where we should be applying this multiple network card into the
that your customer, not customer, actually your team will define. The organizational policy will define. See, one will be for the customer traffic they use regularly.
Okay.
The second one you may be using for backup, because it should not be, the traffic should not be mixed up, right?
Yes,
Otherwise, if backup is going on, the customer will face slowness in the network.
So means we can say it's like a kind of DR activities or disaster
Not
recovery
DR
kind
activity.
not
DR also
like,
you can make use if you want.
yes.
Some people may use for what we call as report collections, or maybe monitoring, or maybe anything. That's why we can't define. It is our national policy will define.
Policy.
Yes.
How the load is want to segregate, and you want to the different routing way
Correct.
where you can access your instance.
Right. Okay. It is basically, see, a team or organizational policy will define all these things. Okay. So that is all about, see, some fundamentals about networking. Please remember all these things, whatever we have discussed are very, very important. Are very, very important. Now it has started the lab. Okay, anything. So that is the what we call as a concept between your elastic network interfaces, where we are. Elastic IP. I spoke about elastic IP. I spoke about ENI, elastic network interfaces. Okay, please go through all these topics which are there. If you still have any questions, start preparing. It will not come only one day. Everything. So even thing is like that, it's 100% cannot be taught. You need to read books. You need to definitely read books and enhance your knowledge. Thing is that the fundamentals, essentials, and if you come up with questions, I can always solve your answers. Is this clear? So we will do one more KC. We will do one more KC, right? We already did one KC. We will do one more KC. I'm just ending the lab because I know I thought of starting this IAM, but the time is very less. I can't initiate this IAM today. So we'll do one KC for today. So go to your modules. So we did this two we have not done, 3 we have completed, 4 we have done, 5 we have done. Also please start doing this guided labs also. Maybe I can initiate some of the things. So yeah, 6th one leave it because I didn't speak about CLI. I'll speak later. 7th one, yeah, I think we can do this 7th one. 7th, this is about VPC. This is about VPC, direct connect, VPN, all these things will be there in this. So open this module 7. Module 7, this is on VPC basically. Okay, knowledge check. So if everyone is ready, let me know.
Ready, sir.
Others also?
Yes, sir. Ready, sir.
Okay, anyone else not yet ready?
So 1 minute, sir, loading.
Don't close the resources, leave it till the class end. Okay, let us start the question. Question number 1. What is AWS site-to-site VPN? Yeah, let me know. Anyone?
Two, sir. Option 2. I think second option.
Okay, a solution that provides encrypted sessions between AWS and on-premises systems using TLS, but unfortunately it doesn't use TLS. TLS is transport layer service. It doesn't use TLS. It uses IPsec basically. I tell you, IPsec is also a protocol, is a networking protocol, which is a security related protocol. This is networking related protocol. See, the answer is more or less same. You see, this one is that connection between VPC and an on-premises. Here also same thing which is there almost all on-premises and AWS. But TLS is not. TLS is using this HTTPS. You see this one? My cursor. The lock is there.
Yes, sir.
This is TLS.
Okay.
If you see that lock.
Secured and.
This is especially for browsers we use. This is HTTPS. If the lock is there, then it is secured. Then that uses your transport layer service. This is IPsec. Okay, select this one. You are almost correct, but we are using IPsec. Just remember that. Right. Yeah, what does AWS Direct Connect provide? Yeah, please let me.
A dedicated network connection.
So a dedicated network connection from an on-premises to AWS?
Not On-premises.
Yes, sir, but we will not use Wi-Fi.
What is direct connect? See, on the other day VPC, I spoke about direct
private
connect.
network.
It is a leased
Like
line,
private
is it right?
Lease line, yeah.
From?
Means the organization to center, data center, we can say.
AWS, right?
AWS, yes.
All right, now read.
Option 4, sir.
An extension to the cloud AWS to a customer data set that uses a hardware installation on premises. Sorry, no.
Yes, I didn't see the
No,
option.
no.
Second one.
We don't have any hardware for that. See, it is a dedicated network connection from on-premises to AWS.
Yeah, only the first one.
That's all, which uses 802.1. It is a what we call as the layer, first layer. 802.1 is nothing but IEEE layer 2, data link layer. That's all. It's very simple. Don't go with all the other options. Let me check. Yeah, it is. It is. Yeah, now a company has two VPCs, VPC A has a CADR 10.1.0.0.16, VPC B has a 10.2.0.0/16. Both VPCs belonging to AWS account. What is the simplest way to connect two VPCs so that they can route the traffic between them?
VPC peering.
Yeah?
VPC peering.
It is peering. Both of them are in the same region. It is peering. Just now I spoke. Let me check. Yeah, it is peering. Right. Now next. A company is implementing a system backup on-premises to Amazon Web Services. Which network connectivity method will provide a solution with the most consistent performance? On-site to AWS cloud.
Site-to-site VPN.
On-premises to AWS.
VPC endpoints.
No. It's not VPC.
No. It should be direct connect. AWS direct connect.
That's all. On-premises means direct connect. Direct connect. Okay. Absolutely. Systems in a secure subnet in a VPC must access a bucket in S3. So from the VPC to S3 bucket, which solution stops traffic from crossing the internet? So from the bucket, if you want to access the VPC, how will you do? Does the bucket has any region?
Bucket.
No, it is a global object, right?
Global object, yes.
So how will you access a VPC something to or a bucket to the VPC?
So it should be VP creating VPC.
Endpoint.
It is endpoint.
It is endpoint.
Endpoint. How will you access? It is only through the endpoint. Let me check. VPC gateway endpoint. You can't use private IP, public IP. You don't have this bucket, public IP or private IPs. Peering will not work. Peering will not work. Peering will work only within the region. So bucket is not a region. It is a global. So let me check. Endpoint. Yeah, it is endpoint. Got it, everyone? Until unless you read these questions properly, you may not be able to. See, even in the exam also, questions are similar, very similar, I tell you. If you prepare well now, exam becomes easy for you. Any question from anyone? Okay, now sixth one. A company has three VPCs. VPC A, B, C. Have classless CADR that does not overlap. Okay. Both, all the three doesn't overlap. Both A and C have separate VPC peering connection with B. From B, it has connection with A and C also. A cannot communicate with C. What is the simplest and most cost-efficient, effective way to enable full communication between A and C?
Add a peering connection between A and C. And
that's all. You create a peer. That's all. Because if A and C can communicate with B, A and C can communicate with B, why not A and C?
because though both are all three are in same province.
In the same. That is a clear indication. Otherwise, you cannot peer here. So I peer it here. Say submit. Yeah, correct. Yeah, next. Because of a natural disaster, a company moved from secondary data center to a temporary facility with internet offering. Naturally, because disasters do come. So they have gone through a temporary facility. It requires a secure connection to the company's VPC that must be operational as soon as possible. The data center will move again in 2 weeks. Which option will meet the requirement?
VPC endpoint.
Endpoint.
VPC.
It is a disaster recovery. Go through that.
Yeah, so means we are moving our.
You have to create a very fast recovery, very fast, and it is only a temporary solution. 2 weeks.
Either AWS
sometimes rule out certain things. See, it is a primary data center to a secondary data center. So no question of peering.
No, not peering. I said VPC endpoint is the
okay. I'm saying about ruling out. Is it direct connect?
No.
No, because it's only 2 weeks, right?
2 weeks.
No one will give you a direct connect for 2 weeks. You have to pay in years. Okay, A and D is ruled out. Now you have endpoints and site-to-site VPN.
Site-to-site VPN.
That is easy, right? Why should you have again another VPC?
Okay.
You have a failure, you want to connect it, you use site-to-site VPN. Finish. You can connect. Just say submit. Let me see. Yes, it is correct. 8th one. What is the simplest way to connect 100 VPCs together? Can you peer it all the 100 VPCs? So for that, the concept is transit gateway. You have a gateway.
Okay.
Peer all those things. Right? 100 VPCs are there. Transit gateway. When there are more than 2 or 3 or 4, you can use transit gateway. Right? Yeah.
What is VPN Cloud Hub say?
Central hub. See, many people, I'll give an example. There are many people who wants to go to US. There is a transit. What is the meaning of transit? Where from different places people will come, they'll park over there. That is a hub where again you will be sent to the destination. Same thing here also. Different VPCs are there. They will be centrally hub. There will be a hub. Hub means a meeting point. Several people at a common meeting point, hub. Okay, is this clear?
Yeah. Yes.
So that all this they can start communicating. Right. So this is 9th one. A company security administrator requires EC2 instance in a specific subnet. Must connect to Amazon Dynamodb through VPC endpoint. Please understand this one. So requires an EC2 instance. There is one EC2 instance in a specific subnet. Must connect to Amazon Dynamodb. There is a database table in Dynamodb. Dynamodb is a global object. It doesn't have any region. It's not object, global table. It doesn't have any region. Through VPC endpoint only it can come. The company's networking standard requires that the infrastructure support high availability. Which action meets these architectural requirements without adding another subnet? So I think just associate.
First one only,
we have only one VPC, right? Why should we? Because he's asking not to do any other without adding another subnet. So single VPC endpoint with a subnet, that is enough. The endpoint can be added to the subnet, that is enough. Let me check. Yeah, it is horizontal scale. It can be highly available. A company uses a single AWS direct connect between their on-premises to their VPC. They want to ensure that the network connectivity is highly available by adding another backup connection. See, if the direct connect fails, then what will happen? the total connectivity, I mean the total work will be stopped. So they want to have a backup connection. Which network connectivity method provides the cost-effective solution for backup? Suppose if their direct connect fails, then how to basically log into the servers? Yeah.
Site-to-site VPN.
Site-to-site VPN. That is the cheapest one compared to adding another direct connect. You cannot add another one. You can, but it will be too costly. Right? On demand, site-to-site VPN or client VPN across internet. Yeah, it is site-to-site VPN because he mentioned a company, right? So it is. Let me check. Yeah, it is 10. Yeah. So module 7 is okay. Any questions from anyone? So today we have completed which module? Module 7 and module 4, I think, right?
4.
Module 4. Yeah, any questions from anyone? So tomorrow be very, very attentive. Tomorrow we are going to start a very, very important topic. So for today we have completed networking. So tomorrow we are going to start security. So till now we have completed servers, okay, storage, database, and of course networking. So still we are left with couple of more domains, most importantly security, okay, and then automation management, all these things will come. Automation is very, very important. We will learn about maybe like what we call as Beanstalk, we will learn about cloud formation, we will learn about Lambda, all these things are related to automation. We will learn all those things. Apart from that, still more topics are there. And then we will have a review, or sorry, not review, what we call as the topics related to some management topics like Cloud Watch, Cloud, the notification, SNS, SES, Simple Email Services, as workflow services, etc., etc. Still more are there. But out of which security is very, very important. You will get one full domain questions are there. 20% of questions come from security. 22, I think. So please watch. Please be careful. Please attend. We are still in the core topics. All right.
Yes, sir.
Any questions from anyone? And see, whatever is the knowledge check questions which you have attempted, you can do multiple times. At a later stage, even if you want to do those questions, please do. Please do. Right? Yeah. Okay. So I think we will close for now. Tomorrow again, very important. Everyone, please be on time. We will start security. I'll introduce security and then we will go with the IAM, identity and access management. We are about to start for today. But anyway, we did 2 cases and also some of the topics related to your network.
The transit gateways is also applicable because VPC peering is applicable only within the same region. Transit gateways is also applicable only within the same region, right?
Yeah. Transit gateway is there, is a service. Different VPCs can be connected.
That is also restricted only for within the region.
Definitely.
Yes.
See, outside the region, it has to go to only endpoints.
Only the endpoints.
Only endpoints. Endpoints, see, it is based on internet. Endpoints means it is internet-based connectivity.
Correct.
Maybe a secured if you are on through the VPC.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah, any other questions from any members before we sign off for today?
So, sir, is there any recorded like a video on this VPC peering?
No, it may be there available in internet, but it's not required for all of you. I tell you, for associate level. Once you are in the what we call as see, even if you do free tier, won't allow all those things. All right, but still you can do. I think there is an exercise in this particular one only. One of the guided lab, you can do that. In the guided lab, you can do that. You can create 2 VPCs and associate. the VPC, what we call as peering.
Yes, sir.
There is one lab also here.
Yes,
right?
sir.
VPC Peering lab is there. I think it is a challenge lab or guided lab. I don't remember, but one lab is there. We can do that with instructions. If you are not able to, ask me. But your effort is required. Otherwise, very tough, because that Canvas account is a very, very beautiful one which is there. I really appreciate for that. But if I teach everything spoon feeded, then you have nothing to do. That is the reason you attempt first. If you are having some doubts, I can explain.
Sure.
Okay, so take
Yes,
it as a challenge. So already I am completing all the cases for you, all the cases. And if I do all the guided labs, all the instructions will be there. If I still show you everything, then what is there left?
Yes, sir.
Nothing is there left. So preparation will be tough for you. Right. So that is the reason, whatever is the cases which we are doing, please try to do once again also. It will be helpful for you. So I think that's all from me for today. We'll again catch up tomorrow, 6:30 same time, and then till, but do remember